Hello friends, Mark and I are at the airport and we are heading to
Ketchikan, Alaska.
Ketchikan, Alaska. Got a whole bag here full of our boots. It is a rainy place we're going to, so we have packed accordingly. It is about 6 a.m. right now. The boys are home sleeping because Grandma and Grandpa are watching them and they live in our house. So we were able to just slip out this morning and come to the airport. Hello, Mr. Moose.
The big one.
We are traveling to Ketchikan, Alaska today, which is part of Southeast Alaska, which means it's only accessible by boat or air. There are no roads that go to Ketchikan or the other cities along Southeast. We will be flying for over 5 hours today to get there, and we'll still be in Alaska, but that is because this is part of what is called the Milk Run.
So these flights are servicing, you kind of go from village to village or community to community, hopping along. They take groceries, people, the high school basketball team, whatever, going from community to community, and we're just going on that ride, and there's no direct service to these communities.
So these milk runs started back in the 1930s when they needed to get medicines or things quickly from community to community that boats would take too long. So they are still in use today to get people around. All right, so I just read the sign. It says that we're going to Juneau, then Sitka, then Ketchikan, and then the flight continues on to Seattle. And so that's why it's called the Milk Run, because it just kind of stops like a milkman would along the way. Ketchikan is a city that I have never personally been to in Alaska, so I'll be seeing it for the first time and showing you what I explore. Okay, we're at stop 1. We're in Juneau. We stay on the plane and then we're gonna keep going. Like I said, when you make landings on the Milk Run, you stay on the plane for about an hour while they count passengers and load on the next group of people. It's a lot of sitting around, but it is the way to travel in these parts, and the people of Southeast rely on these services. The airports in Southeast Alaska are some of the most unique I've ever experienced. They are right on the water and sometimes surrounded on 3 sides by water. This makes for really tricky takeoffs and landings. The pilots who make these flights every day are very skilled. It felt like we ended up spending more time on the ground than in the air for this trip. Southeast Alaska is salmon central, and it was so neat to see all the fishing boats out in the water catching fish with their big nets. And when you get to Ketchikan, the airport is on a separate island from the city. This trip has already felt like an adventure, and all we did was take a few flights along Southeast Alaska. Ketchikan is known for its native heritage as a fishing village, salmon fishing today, Dungeness crab, as well as deer and elk hunting up in the mountains. Well, that was quite the adventure to get here. So many stops, but I'm glad that we've done it. And now from here we either have to take a ferry or you have to go get on a float plane. This is the wardrobe for the next week, getting the rain gear on. It's a very misty rain here. It just feels like you're like in a cloud. We're heading over to get on the ferry to head across into the city of Ketchikan. Woo. So these cars are waiting to get on the ferry, so you can either walk on or drive on. They had a few rental cars, but not many. The airport ferry is a 5-minute ferry ride that shuttles you from Ketchikan International Airport to Ketchikan City. The ferry leaves the Ketchikan side of the Tongas Narrows on the quarter hour and the airport side on the hour-and-a-half hour. There is a small seating area in the middle of the ferry boat to get out of the elements, but most people choose to stand outside in their rain gear. It costs $6 for adults and $3 for children, and $7 for a regular car, and up to $38 for an oversized vehicle. We enjoyed the short ferry ride over to town in the rain. Yeah, the deer or elk. sitting here waiting for a taxi, and you might wonder why we are in Ketchikan. Mark is on the board of directors for our electric co-op, and so we are here for a convention, and I am just his +1.
+1. So I have meetings for the next couple days, but they make it as a fun conference. So we got a lot of cool stuff. They have a wildlife cruise tonight and some dinners and banquets and stuff, so it should be fun.
Yep. I'm just excited to see somewhere new. We hopped in a cab, and my first impression of Ketchikan was that all the rumors of rain were true, and I was also amazed to see how the town is built right into the side of the mountain. The city of Ketchikan is only about 3 streets deep and about 10 miles long. It's built right between the mountain and the water. We just made it to our Airbnb. We booked too late to be able to stay at the convention center, so Mark and I are going to be doing a lot of walking this week. My first impression of Ketchikan is it's gorgeous, but it is set right in the side of a mountain. The streets look like, if you've ever been to San Francisco, they just look almost straight up. So we are up on the hill at this beautiful home and looking out over the water. Look at that view. All right, I'm gonna give you a quick tour of our cute little room here. We have a little seating area. Cool views out this window of the cruise ship right there. That's the Princess, Discovery Princess. And then we have a little eating area, a little cooking area, and a bed, and a bathroom.
Oh, this place is incredible.
Yeah.
That view is amazing.
It is. It's really amazing.
It is amazing.
And we already found some red huckleberries to pick and eat, but now we gotta go find some real food. Oh, there we go. Now we got the real view. Open the door.
This is incredible. Oh my goodness. There's those big yachts there. There's some yachts down there.
We are headed out on a wildlife dinner cruise tonight, so we'll bring you along. Hopefully we'll be able to see something. The back of our Airbnb goes right to this retaining wall here. I'm not sure what's on top there. It looks like maybe a road, but it turns into just the forest back here.
Here, come check this out. These are huge.
Ooh. Oh my goodness.
This is crazy. This is amazing. I'm so used to these being like a red being a poisonous type color, but the host assured us these are good. So these are huckleberries.
These are red huckleberries. Oh, they're so big.
Tastes like eating little cherries.
Red usually means bad, but she assured us these are huckleberries. And I believe her. They taste like huckleberries.
It's good.
I've never seen them this big though.
No.
And juicy.
Perfect.
I'm a fan. She warned us to watch for bears right here because I guess they kind of use this as a corridor. So we'll keep an eye out. Make sure we don't get startled. So this house, we weren't sure what to expect. You know, you book stuff on Airbnb, but it is a beautiful, beautiful home. It just has so much character. So here is the house. They've got multiple units that you can rent out.
God, look,
We have the master suite. There's a lower suite here, but it's just gorgeous. And the view is seriously breathtaking. And it feels good to walk after being on an airplane all day. To get down?
Oh, wow. Holy cow, this is intimidating. I think they have these non-skid.
They have some like roofing non-skid. Because this is a lot of stairs.
Wow. This road is built up on these
Pilings, yeah.
It's crazy.
I didn't realize we were on something. I thought we were walking on ground, but we are not. We were walking on this like overpass. This is all just so new. Okay, I'm gonna focus on walking so I don't kill myself. Mark and I are in awe that they have built these buildings right into the rock.
So like this one right here, they built it right into the cliff. If we owned that property, we'd have to like install a slide. Be like, kids, go play in the backyard and slide down the pole.
It's so big.
So Each of these boats here are fishing charter boats. You can see the sticker showing there a guide. And they're probably all catering right to these cruise ships, taking people out for salmon and halibut and cod and rockfish.
We are going to try out Burger Queen, established in 1980. One of the only things that I've seen so far that I saw recommended for food. So, you know, hole in the wall burger sounds yummy. All right, so it looks like they have fish and chips, salads and chili, lots of different burgers, Hawaiian burger, and then different types of chicken. We are feeling very tired and jet lagged. I stayed up last night to fold boys' clothes until like almost 1 o'clock. And then Everett woke me up at 2:30 and 4:30. I think he was very anxious about mom and dad leaving, and he wanted to make sure he saw us. So then we got up at 5 and left for the airport. So now that we sat down for a minute here and the food smells so good and we're so hungry, I'm feeling like I could just nod off here.
Oh, this is large fries. It is large. This is
That's a lot of fries.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they're so hot.
Hot.
They're so good.
Hawaiian?
Hawaiian?
I got the spicy burger. Hope I don't regret it. The sriracha.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right.
So I got a Hawaiian burger, so it has pineapple, ham, teriyaki, and it's like hot and fresh. Well, Burger Queen was delicious. I think we were also just very, very hungry. Breakfast seems like a long time ago. So we're gonna go walk back up to the Airbnb, take a rest before our evening boat cruise. It keeps shocking us that we are actually above water.
Yeah, we're just walking on this back alley, and all these buildings are built up on pilings.
You really wouldn't realize it until you come somewhere like this and you see, oh, that whole road is up on pilings. It's kind of incredible.
Oh, we're all pilings.
After a quick nap, it is time to get ready for dinner. Let's get dressed for a fancy night out. Just kidding, we're in rain gear. In Alaska, you just dress for the weather. Nobody wears anything fancy very often. Welcome to Ketchikan, Alaska's first city and salmon capital of the world. After a brisk walk, we've made it to our boat for the evening.
One spot upstairs, maybe.
Okay, let's look around, yeah.
Rent it or go on a tour?
Tour, and they basically drove up.
Well, it's very rainy, and we haven't seen any animals other than some salmon jumping. Well, we're walking back from our cruise. Unfortunately, it was quite underwhelming.
Pretty much, for wildlife, they saw a few jumping salmon, cormorant or two on a rock, and a whale.
One whale. The whale was good, but there was very little food, so thankfully we'd had a big late lunch. Anyways, we're fine, but it was...
The nature cruise was a schmooze booze cruise.
We named it the Schmooze Booze Snooze Cruise.
Yeah.
Good morning, friends. Mark has started his conference. I get to go on a tour of Ketchikan this morning. I'm looking forward to it. Mark and I have done a ton of walking around, but this will be a little bit more formal tour. I'm excited to see what Ketchikan has to offer. Stop number one on our tour is the Totem Heritage Museum. This is full of old totem poles, new totem poles. I'm excited to show you some of these amazing Alaska native totem poles. This is the Fog Woman totem pole. So from what I'm reading, totem poles were never used as worship. They are used to honor people, to tell stories, and to record history. They are not used in religious purposes at all, but what a cool way to record a story. This one is called Honoring Those Who Give. All right, now that I've been in the Totem Heritage Museum, I can explain a little bit about what they taught us. I am in no way going to do the history and the information that I was given in there justice, but I'm going to try and share just a little bit of it with you because I find it so interesting. The lady that was explaining everything to us, she is Haida, so what she was telling us was like her personal story. I can just give you a little bit of information, but I will never do it as well as she did it. She did an amazing job of making us immersed in this heritage that she holds so dear. This museum was created because the weather and the elements were causing the totem poles to deteriorate. They were also getting vandalized, so they brought them in from the villages so that they can be preserved here in this museum. Ketchikan was originally a fish camp, so the Haida and the Tlingit and other Alaska Native groups did not live here year-round. They would come here for fishing in the summertime when the fish were plentiful. And these Alaska Native groups are built on their heritage of having a clan and a house, and they're very, very connected with their heritage through their matriarch. And the lady inside explained that they are all divided up between the eagles and the ravens, and they would marry across cultures to be able to improve their relations in trading and getting things that they need. And then they would make totem poles for each other. They would invite somebody from the opposing tribe to come so that they could carve for them, and then they would have a big potlatch, a celebration, and they would show off their dancing and their singing and their stories, and they would record their history by telling stories with these totem poles. And there would be people that were required to remember these stories and pass them on orally. There is a huge oral history here. Not a lot, if any, was written down way back when in the 1700s, 1800s, but those stories have been preserved through making these totem poles, as well as the people that passed down the stories of the totem poles. So there are totem poles that tell stories, they're creation stories. There were also totem poles that would tell people's life story, and then they were memorial poles for people that had passed away, and their ashes are actually put in the back of the totem pole. They believe in reincarnation, they believe in moving on to different realms, so that's all built into having these totem poles. So how cool that they have them preserved. Okay, I'm gonna walk across the bridge here and show you the beautiful creek that runs through Ketchikan and their city park. Here is a Deer Mountain hatchery. They hatch salmon and release them. Let's see if we can find any salmon. I don't know if you can see, there's little fins coming out of the water here. Oh. So I'm guessing this is where they release fish from the hatchery, but they also put nets in the river and catch them and get the eggs and stuff out so that they can release them. Oh my goodness. Every once in a while you see a fish fly out that didn't quite make it up. Inside, that's where they're hatching salmon. Salmon are big business in Alaska. They're very important. They get a lot of attention. Ketchikan is a rainforest here, and they get lots and lots of rain. They don't get a ton of snow down here by the coast. Up at the top of the mountains they do get snow, but it is very humid. I feel like I'm sweating all the time, even though it's pretty cool. Just always a little bit of mist. Sometimes it turns into rain. Mostly we've just been very comfortable, but always end up very clammy, much more humid than Anchorage. Very beautiful here though. It's time for me to get back to the bus, and we're going to continue on our tour of Ketchikan today. So we are now at the Ketchikan Tongas Museum, and the Totem Heritage Museum covered the history of the people that lived here for the last 10,000 years, the Alaska Natives. This is more of the town of Ketchikan when it became a permanent settlement for many different reasons. So let me go through and show you some of the history of the town of Ketchikan as it became a booming city for many different reasons. Now, the town of Ketchikan currently has about 8,000 residents. At certain times, because industries were thriving, that could have been a lot more, like 10 or 12,000, but right now it sits at about 8,000 residents here in Ketchikan, but this is an island. On the island, there's probably about 13,000. So let's go look at some of the cool things that represent the city of Ketchikan. Okay, first up, Ketchikan is on the water. Water is very important. Fishing is important. This was for refrigeration. Ketchikan was built on salmon fisheries, so they had to figure out ways to keep the salmon good. So really early technology for refrigeration to keep it fresh. And then this was a diving mask. This was used to pump air down to the people that were down diving. I'm sure Mark would be interested in that with all his diving. Next up, we have salmon. Salmon is kind of the backbone of Ketchikan. Right behind us here is the creek where the salmon are headed up. Like I mentioned before with the hatchery, Alaska, before it was even a state, knew the importance of managing their fisheries so that you don't destroy them. So there was a lot of management. That's why we have hatcheries, so that next generation can continue to have the salmon and we don't deplete those resources. It's very, very important. Okay, this is probably my favorite thing that she talked to us about. These are Halbit hooks. They would be attached to a rock. They are made of 2 different pieces of wood. The 2 different pieces of wood were so that the density would keep it up, because one was less dense than the other, and then they were able to catch the right size halibut. You didn't want to catch a huge halibut because usually you were catching it out of a small boat. So the size of your hook was proportionate to what size halibut you would catch, so they would figure out the right size to catch ones that were perfect for pulling into a boat. Plus, they didn't want to catch the really big ones because you want those to continue to reproduce. So smart. As you can imagine, being on the water, lighthouses are an important part of this community. Our tour guide said that at one point, Ketchikan had as many bars as it had churches and had a very high-functioning red light district. And I think we'll see more of that when we go and look at Creek Street down here. And because it said at one point every business on Creek Street was owned by women. They just celebrated 100 years of aviation in Ketchikan. 100 years ago, a biplane came in to Ketchikan. Wow. This commemorates a big bear that was kind of a legend here called Old Groaner. Okay, Ketchikan also has a really long history of logging and having a pulp mill. Like many other cities, these industries tended to go up and down, and so the town grew and shrank as the industries either thrived or were shut down. Even up until like recently, 1996, they closed the pulp mill, and that caused a lot of distress on the community here because it relied on so many other things that could no longer be sustained when the pulp mill closed. This is cross section of a Sitka spruce, and it is huge. It's like this high. What a cool and rich history this little city has. This is the museum here, and here is the creek. This is called Creek Street. We're gonna go explore that next. You might be able to see some salmon. Ketchikan is a port town for cruise ships. They can handle up to 6 cruise ships at a time. So this sleepy little town goes from 8,000 people to sometimes 25,000 people in an afternoon. Creek Street here is one of the places that most of the tourists come and explore, come walk around and check out all the souvenir shops. You can imagine in the wintertime, this must be a very sleepy, sleepy little town because no cruise ships. So this is Creek Street, built right onto the creek. Everything's on stilts. So quaint and cute. I love it. So as we walk down Creek Street, all the buildings have these signs on them from when they were built. A lot of them were brothels to begin with. Now they're just little tourist buildings selling souvenirs and goods. Some of them are also little restaurants. So in the past, there was a little tram here that you could take up to the lodge. That's where Mark is at. Right now you just have to walk. You go around and walk, or you have to drive up there. But I guess there used to be a tram, which would have been very convenient. We've been walking a lot of stairs. All right, so here's a Simply Salmon shop. They're selling lots of good salmon. Wild, $24.95 for that. Some pink salmon, smoked silver belly strips. Ooh, the belly meat is so good. Got salmon jerky. Got a full fillet for $59.95 and some canned salmon. Caught right here in Ketchikan. Smoked king, so it's $15.95 each. Ooh, I love those umbrellas. Very cool. This is Copper River Fleece. This is a local Alaskan company in Cordova that makes fleece jackets that are really nice, and fleece vests. Unique clothing for a unique life. Oh, and pretty ornaments. So different ornaments to take home to commemorate your trip to Alaska. Beautiful totem poles. Wow, look at these bears. Black bear, a silver, and a brown together. I wonder if those are triplets, if they came out like that. Crazy. These are Alaskan ulu knives. The ulu knife was a traditional knife used for filleting salmon and cutting it up. And I've never used one. Ooh, it's gotten really misty outside, but some people swear by them. They love them. So next up we'll go in this Sam McGee's. I really love this store because these are actual products made in Alaska, not China products that say Alaska on them. These are all made in Alaska. I wish you could smell this section. It smells so good. Glacier Silt Soap. How fun. If you want to know if something's made in Alaska, you check for this little Made in Alaska symbol. Not everything has it on it, but if that symbol is on it, it should be made here in the state. Some books. Always a coffee section. Alaskans love their coffee. At the end of Creek Street here is Dolly's house, where both men and salmon came upstream to spawn. The historic red light district. You can go tour this Dolly's house. Well, lots of fun here on Creek Street. I gotta head back up for our bus tour. I'm on the other side of Creek Street now, and for those of you that like to do fiber crafts, they do have a beautiful fiber store. It's called Fabulous Fiber Art. Hi, how are you? I'm thanks. Also a bookstore. Eat, sleep, read. I've seen this one. Cat's Guide to Money. Need that. I think Luna could teach us a thing or two. Bookstores kind of overwhelm me if I don't have a specific thing I'm looking for. There's just so many things to look at. And if if you don't have a lot of time to wander, you can, I feel like I can't focus in on just one thing. Anyways, back to the bus. Well, he escaped from class after several hours. We're gonna go for a walk. We have an hour and a half, which is not enough time to get all the way back to our Airbnb, so we're just gonna go explore a little bit before we go out to dinner at a place called the Cannery. So we'll see how that is. We found some of our red huckleberries here along the path, having a little snack. They're so good. We never get very far when berries are involved.
All right, so I found these are the red huckleberries, and there's some blue ones right next to each other.
Blue ones are beautiful too, though.
Yeah, so that's similar to what we have around our. All right, let me try some
Different
side
taste.
by side. That's what I expect from like the huckleberries we have. Yeah. The red one, definitely a different taste.
More tart.
A little bit, yeah.
This morning on our walk, I looked up at a staircase and had to take a double take, and a big black thing was coming down, and I realized it was a bear. I wasn't quick enough to get the camera out for the full thing, but Mark misunderstood me and thought that it was a staircase further down instead of the one right by us. So he kept walking, and honestly, I think he almost got tackled by a bear, because the bear got spooked by a car coming and then ran right by Mark and up a driveway. Honestly, neither of us were that scared. Did you feel scared, hon?
Not necessarily, a little bit more startled. It was a big black bear though.
Yeah.
Big.
Huh.
Did you even get it?
I don't know. Yikes.
Sorry, I missed you.
So that was our adventure this morning on our morning walk. I wasn't expecting that. I realized I wouldn't want to come face to face with a bear on one of these walkways with all these stairs, because there's nowhere to go if you were. Look at this staircase. Don't fall. We are back down at Creek Street. You can actually see some salmon here. If you look, there's some spawned out salmon in the water there. I don't know if you can see them at the glare. Quite a few swimming around in here. It is a bit stinky along here because of the rotting salmon. Some of them get caught up on shore when the tide goes down, so it does have quite the aroma here. We just had someone tell us that when he used to live in Juneau, people would say, man, they really should get rid of that smell. You know, some things are just natural and just are naturally there. They're not going anywhere. We must be in between tour boats, because compared to earlier when I was out here, this is dead and quiet. It's kind of nice. Here's a good view of Creek Street.
So many.
There's so many fish. It's kind of hard to see because of the glare, but there's tons. If you see the little white spots moving around in there. Sometimes they even see seals coming up in here and eating the fish. Seals? Sea lions.
Seals.
Seals.
Yeah, harbor seals.
Okay, well, we'll keep our eye out for a harbor seal. A lot of these shops don't even stay open if the cruise ship passengers are no longer here. Must just not be worth it to them.
Actually makes it a lot more enjoyable.
In my mind, I thought that things in Ketchikan would be more expensive, gas would be more expensive, food would be more expensive. Well, the tourist food is very expensive, but we're actually much closer to Seattle here than we are in Anchorage, so things are fresher and get here quicker and are not as expensive here as one might think. Haven't been to the grocery store yet. There is no Costco here in Ketchikan. You would have to go to Juneau to go to Costco, but there are 2 grocery stores in town. Hopefully we'll be able to check those out in the next day or so. Here's the small boat harbor. People fishing off the bridge. Somebody's caught some fish. What are these, Mark?
These are pink salmon.
Pink salmon before they've spawned. They look nice and fresh. I'm sure we would find Hunter in many of these places trying to catch a salmon if we lived here. We are back down by the harbor, and there is a local Great Alaskan Lumberjack show that goes on here. Fun little lumberjack show. And the Alaska Fish House, Ketchikan. Scoping out the menus for another day when I'm hungry. See what I want to come back and eat. I just passed the Alaska Crepe Factory. I think I'd like to try a crepe. Maybe some salmon chowder there in the Ketchikan Fish House. Might have to take just like a little walking food tour. Try a little bit from each place. This is where we got on our cruise last night. It's so beautiful out there. We were kind of lamenting that our cruise isn't tonight. We would have been able to see so much more. It was so rainy and foggy last night. Look at this view. Look at that view, that huge cruise ship. They're just massive. The thing about right here along the water where the cruise ships come in that's kind of surprised us is the immense amount of diamonds and jewelry stores, I guess, for the tourists that come off the ships. That's not really what I would think about buying when I come off of a cruise ship, but they must know their target market better than I do. Diamonds are forever. Orca Jewels, Diamond International, Tanzanite International, and this whole, around this entire building was different gold and jewelry shops. Mark's really wanting to buy me a new ring.
No, I want to buy you a new boat.
Buy me a boat?
Yes, you need one. And a shotgun and a pistol.
How romantic.
That's what you need.
Actually, I don't need any sort of ring. I am perfectly content in that area. Further up the creek here, we have a fish ladder. It's kind of loud here, but Mark's going to tell us about it.
Yeah, so there's this waterfall that keeps some of the fish, they have a hard time getting up there so they can spawn. And I can see some fish trying to jump and other fish getting knocked down in the falls there. So to help them out, they have this ladder, and it's kind of like a staircase here where they have little steps, and the fish can just go up step by step, and the current's a lot, the current is slow, and they can just go right on up. Let's go have a look at it. I saw a fish try and jump right up there and get knocked down.
I saw one trying to sneak up the side here.
It's gotta be so discouraging for those fish.
It must be very discouraging to the fish to like make it part way up, and then we see them like washing back down. Hard work. Here's where the fish ladder comes out. I can see a bunch of fish in there.
Yeah, they're probably all resting after they ate it out.
We're headed out to dinner on a school bus, crammed in here with lots of people.
I think we're heading about 8 or 9 miles out the highway to the very end of the road.
The cannery they've turned into an event center. We drove out to the end of the road. It took us about 35 minutes to get out here. I'm excited to see what it looks like inside.
There we go.
Beautiful waterfall.
Yeah, quite the walk out here. Quarter mile or so.
They're making us work for our supper. I love old buildings. This is cool. Well, we can see why they told us not to wear nice shoes. It's quite muddy. Oh, how cool is this? George Inlet Fisherman's Co-op Central Building. Ooh, wow, this is cool. Look at that boat. Look at this old car. Old little tractor.
Mm-hmm. Imagine craftsmanship to make those back in the day. You know,
Yeah.
plan out. Oh wow, this is like net making stuff. Oh, cool.
All sorts of old machines in here.
Like the canning process.
Oh,
You can see where
yeah.
it starts at one end.
Which way do you think it goes?
It goes from left to right. So these
Okay.
are finished cans on the right.
Well, let's go this way then. All right, we're gonna go see the canning process. Can body reform machine.
That's where they're making the can.
Making the cans. Making sure they're right
Putting in the
shape.
bottom
And then they go up here. Oh, they got a salmon on there.
indexer.
It cuts it off. A head indexer. And then the fish goes through here without a head.
And guts.
No guts, and then comes over here, and this is where it's cut into pieces, I think.
Oh yeah.
Probably, yep, to
Mhm.
fit in the can. And it goes through here. Rotary fish filler, so it gets filled,
Interesting.
and then comes through and gets sealed up. A clincher and a high-speed vacuum closing machine.
Then they must stick them in, you know, they cook them.
What was that?
They have to cook them after that. So maybe that's what these pressure cooker things are. Because they have to pressure cook all of these to seal it and make it shelf stable. That's probably what these are. These are
Wow,
just
yeah, massive pressure cookers. That makes ours look pretty wimpy.
No, they call it a retort, but I think it's the same kind of thing.
Wow.
Vacuum chamber, heat thing.
Yeah. Big thing of nets for these purse seiners. Catch the fish.
Remember
Back in the day, this would have been a hopping place. Oh, look at all these rusty cans.
They need a conversation keeps going.
All right.
A cup of tea anymore.
Yeah,
It's worth the drive and the little hike because it's so cool.
really, it's warmer than South Central too.
Oh, it's
It's just,
beautiful
it's
weather.
definitely warmer. There are all these little skips. I wish we could. These are awesome.
Mark's gonna take me out on a
You're like James Bond.
joyride. When we pulled up, I felt like this feels like a place where like a James Bond movie would they'd be doing like a heist or something.
Seriously,
Especially with all these little
All these
boats.
little cute little like power boats. You could totally just jump in. Let's go.
It's funny you said that because that was the very first thought I had when we pulled up.
That's awesome. These things fly with 70 horse or 60 horse on that one.
They look kind of fun
Yeah, they
with like
do.
the actual seats, and
This would be awesome.
we'd have someone chasing after us like, that wasn't part of the tour. Come back. We just feel so lucky that this weather, after last night's boat tour in the mist, this is just beautiful. Last night we waited to get food and there was nothing left. We saw someone with a plate, so we're getting some food while it's here. All right, full plate. Got some salmon and some mushrooms and broccoli and green beans. Since we didn't eat dinner last night, I felt like I needed to get a good dinner tonight. Especially because this is the most veggies they've offered at any meal. I can tell my body has been craving vegetables. I haven't had as many since we got here. Somehow we have perfect timing tonight. We were going to walk outside and sit in the fresh air and they brought out the dessert. This night is shaping up to be tasty.
A lot better than last night. Oh, this is so pretty.
Dessert with a view. All right, would you be team berry cobbler, team chocolate mousse? What's your preference?
I haven't had the chocolate yet, but this berry is really good.
I think I lean towards berry stuff over chocolate, but
Yeah.
they're both yummy. What a beautiful evening.
Yes.
This has just been really, really nice. We gotta go figure out which bus to get on before we head back. to civilization. Unfortunately, we do not have any cell phone reception out here, and it's the night before school starts for our boys, so we were hoping to call them. Probably be too late by the time we get home, so we'll have to try and catch them in the morning. Day 3 in Ketchikan, we woke up to fog, but it quickly burned off to reveal an amazing sunny day that just blew us away. These stained glass along the harbor are just so gorgeous. After Mark's classes were finished for the day, we took a long and hot walk to see what grocery shopping and fast food Ketchikan had to offer. We will cover the grocery shopping options in the next video, so be sure to come back and see what groceries cost in Ketchikan, Alaska. So Mark and I have done a ton of walking while we've been here, and really all I can say about the houses here in Ketchikan is they are so eclectic. They just have so many different styles, old, new, and lots of beautiful flowers and things that we don't really see in Anchorage. This house and flowers are so pretty and unique. These hydrangeas are like out of this world. Most of the houses that we've seen here have a large staircase to even get up to the house. Some sort of staircase. I'm quickly realizing I need to never complain about my small set of stairs ever again, because while it's hot and sunny today, you have to remember Ketchikan gets over 16 feet of rain a year. Hauling groceries up all these stairs in the rain would be a big project. I'm done complaining about our kitchen being upstairs and having to go up one flight. Beautiful houses, but lots of stairs. I'm sure that it has incredible views out to the ocean. It's got 1, 2, 3, at least 3 levels high. But look at those stairs. Those would be brutal, especially in the winter. Now, Ketchikan doesn't get a ton of snow in the winter because it's so close to the water, but I could see it getting icy and kind of tricky to get up and down all those staircases. Sorry to talk so much about stairs, but it really has blown our mind, the amount of staircases here in Ketchikan. These houses here are extremely modern and are definitely new. And right next to those modern houses, we have a very old house here. Cedar shingles, very mossy, built right into the hillside here. I don't know if anybody lives there anymore. It looks like it's seen better days. We headed back to Mark's conference for dinner and speakers, and then got to take a beautiful sunset walk back to our Airbnb. We are at the rain gauge. It says that in 1949 it rained 202 inches.
That's unbelievable.
Average rainfall is 12.5 feet a year. January average temperature is 32.6 degrees, and the July average temperature is 57.5.
So definitely warmer than where we live in the winter, but not as warm in the summer on average. Well, maybe the average.
So it says that they're at 168 inches. Crazy. This is called the Rock.
I think it's supposed to commemorate all of the different people. You got the miners, the loggers, the Native Americans, Alaska Natives. You got the bush pilots.
All the people that made Ketchikan a city. The fishermen, the pilots,
Fearless bush pilots.
the Alaska Natives. All brave people. What a beautiful evening to be walking along the water. So much quieter than when we were here 8 hours ago with 3 cruise ships. I feel like we're getting to see a lot more of Ketchikan by being here for several days, which is obvious, but kind of get to see it in all its different lights. The one thing we do feel like we're missing is somewhere to get down to the ocean, like a beach or something. all the buildings are right along the water, so there's nowhere where we can just like put our feet in the water or, you know, toss rocks or anything.
I like that. Is that this community was just developed like along the water. Everything was along the water. It was all about the commerce along the water, about the logging. That they didn't probably have the foresight that in the future people would want to have like a promenade or a walkway, you know, like we would think nowadays. But back then it was all about having your dock, and commerce was all about, everything was on the water.
And there's not a lot of flat land between the water and this mountain, so they kind of just pushed everything right up to the edge. And still Mark is gonna find a way to get in that water. He has booked himself a snorkeling tour for tomorrow. He did not bring his suit because he didn't think he would have time, and we don't have a rental car to be able to get out there, but transportation is included, so he is gonna get out in this water. Here's a really cool eagle.
Oh yeah.
Totem. And I can't get over this tunnel that they built to widen the road, but that there's houses on top of it.
Really?
It's amazing. These look beautiful even at night. Ooh, I love that fish.
Ah, sea otter.
We're just talking to the boys, getting their first day back to school stories, hearing how everything went, hearing how they like their teachers. We're so grateful for Grandma and Grandpa for watching over them and getting them off to their first day of school. Everett still has 1 week till he starts kindergarten, so thankfully I'll be there for that. But everybody had really good reviews from their first day of school. I'll show you the cute pictures that Grandpa sent me this morning. I think my favorite one might be Everett still fast asleep in the bed, even though all the boys were off to school. He hasn't quite adjusted to school time yet. We're gonna have to work on that over the next week. Somehow we have lucked out and have another gorgeous sunny day. Mark just finished his conference. I just finished editing a Costco video, so yay. Mark won this cooler, which was awesome. We have our lunches in here. We're headed down Creek Street probably for the last time this trip, and then we're gonna go find somewhere to eat our boxed lunch. Cruise ships are in right now, so it's hustling and bustling down here. A swim down there sounds kind of nice. It's so hot.
Oh, I don't know. There's rotten fish. Like,
okay,
yeah.
Maybe not right here with the rotten fish, but
the thought of swimming.
But the thought of going swimming sounds really nice right now. It's so warm.
Oh, he's totally
There's a
chasing that
seal
fish.
down there chasing
He's
salmon.
chasing that
That's what I
salmon.
wanted to see, so I'm
Come on over
excited.
here, buddy. Oh, yeah. It's interesting. He totally
He's like zoned in on that
zoned
one
in on that one fish.
He's trying to like throw him off.
Uh-huh. Separated it from the group, and then
It's floating upside down. I wonder why they do that.
who, the seal?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of however.
They do it all the time at the zoo and
Oh,
at
do
the Sea Life Center, yeah.
A bunch of fish down here too. Did he go corner it under the bridge there? Or
I
under
don't know.
I see him down there. He must have cornered it down. There's a seal.
Oh, he bit his tail.
Oh,
I think he's just playing with it.
it's like he's
I don't
playing
think
with.
he's even hungry. I think
That
he's
looks like a
just
small seal
playing.
too, actually. As far as seals go, it's not
It's right
as
by
big.
him. Look at it.
What?
Look at it.
What is the fish doing?
That fish is... What? They're like...
He's teasing it. He's playing with his food. Yeah, he's cornering him. But he's like not going
He's
in for
not.
the
He's
kill.
not. He's just... They're just playing. Lots and lots of fish today. See them all down in there? Well, I can check that off my list. I wanted to see some harbor seals chasing the salmon here on Creek Street, so. I came on this side of the bridge and there's lots of fish.
Oh, and the seals
And
are
a
chasing.
seal. Right there, there's a little seal. Watch, it's not a little one, a bigger one. I wonder if they work in teams and kind of like push them back to each other.
I think, yeah, they push him.
So many fish.
Push him down along the wall.
Now there's 2 seals. We loaded up our cooler. We got our stash of drinks, sandwiches, and chips for lunch. Really love these mosaics on top of the pilings. The cone shell and a mosaic octopus. It's so cool. And some barnacles. So we have done fine without a rental car here in Ketchikan. It does mean lots and lots of walking. Kind of gotten into a routine. We do take a yellow taxi every morning to get to the conference, and anytime we've taken a taxi, it's been around $12. There's just not that many roads to go on, so it's been about the same every single time. Lots and lots of walking if you can handle it, because there's lots of stairs and hills. It would be tricky if you had bad knees or had a hard time doing lots of walking. So we've been putting in anywhere from probably 3 to 5 miles every day at least. I spent the afternoon checking out the local Walmart, but that will be included in my Ketchikan grocery video. I also stopped in and got an amazing crepe at the Alaska Crepe Company, and it was delicious. Mark went snorkeling and diving and solidified his love for Ketchikan. He found huge scallops and he saw whales as he dove, and he was absolutely hooked. Definitely getting in our daily steps, walking up this hill every day, multiple times a day. Whew. Beautiful view though. Peeks through every once in a while. Oh my goodness, I just finished climbing up the hill in the heat. It's only about 75 degrees, but man, it hits different in Alaska. For some reason, 75 feels like 90, plus walking up the hill. The first 2 days we were here, we were drenched in sweat because it was misty and rainy, and then wearing raincoats, walking up the hills and the stairs. We came back, had to dry everything out. The last 2 days, it's been from sweat. We're so hot, especially after that last hill in the pounding sun. Thankfully, our Airbnb has a little fan. So this is where I will be camping out for the next 15-20 minutes, cooling off. Believe it or not, the whole time we've been here, it's been raining back at home, like really heavy rain. So we feel like we're getting a little bonus summer here in Ketchikan, which was totally unexpected. When I looked at the 10-day forecast, it was raining 50 degrees the whole 5 days we were supposed to be here, but somewhere it changed. And we're having a little bonus couple days of summer. Really, I shouldn't be complaining at all because I'm actually really enjoying it. I needed a few more days of sunshine before fall and winter hit, so this has checked that box. So many stairs. Since the conference was now over, we were on our own for meals. We ended up at a local Mexican and Italian joint where we enjoyed dinner while watching harbor seals play and the sunset on the bay. It was a nice meal. A sea lion just came up here. It was much bigger than the little harbor seals. Oh, it's right here. It's right here. It's right here.
Oh, and there's a seal following it. I wonder what they have.
That's a pretty big one, the seal.
Oh, yeah.
Well, when you're the only drive-through food in town on a Friday night, you get quite the line. We headed to Safeway to grab some ice cream for dessert, but as you can see, there wasn't much to choose from. They must have been waiting for a shipment of ice cream. We're FaceTiming with the boys. Here, come here.
Oh, hi.
Hello. Hi, Bennett. Hi. Hi, Everett.
Hi! I'm on video.
Yeah. We're not at home, but we still get to say hi to Luna. Hey, kitty. Hi. Hi, Luna. Last morning in Ketchikan. It's another sunny, beautiful day. You probably wouldn't know that because we're in the rainforest here, but we needed something to do this morning, so we are going for a hike. We are on Deer Mountain. We're just gonna see what we can see, pick some berries along the way.
I'm already starting. I
Mark. I know, there's like blue huckleberries and red huckleberries right next to the trail. If this was Anchorage, those would be just completely gone. So we'll bring you along if there's anything to see on this hike. And we have a really fun thing planned for lunch today. The parking lot was full for this hike. We took a taxi up here. We figured we didn't want a 2-mile walk before we started the hike, so we took a taxi and the parking lot was full. But it's so quiet out here. It's just so quiet. We are still in Alaska here in Ketchikan, but Mark and I have been blown away by the different trees and plants that grow here. So different than what we have in Anchorage. We're in awe of this huge cedar tree right here. I don't know if this captures it, but it's just
like a mini redwood. It's huge.
It's gigantic and old and twisted. All these stones made into steps. I feel like we've really lucked out since it's been sunny for the past 2 days. The trail is really relatively dry. I can imagine if it had been rainy, like it normally is here in Ketchikan, it would be quite slick.
These are red huckleberries, and they are delicious. In the Ketchikan area, as far as big game, they have black bears and also Sitka black-tailed deer. And the Sitka black-tailed deer actually get pretty big compared to how it is in South Central. And there's a good chance we could see some. This mountain is named Deer Mountain after all. Oh, I'm breathing. And Sitka black-tailed deer and bears can be pretty reclusive and just kind of hiding out. This time of year, the bears are going to be focused either up eating berries in the alpine or in the forest, or on salmon streams eating spawning salmon that they can catch, or and then the deer will be all over the place with the largest deer and the bucks up in the high alpine eating the grass and stuff. It's not till later in the year that the I could hear an eagle just a second ago. It's not till late in the fall that the snow will push the bigger bucks down lower, and so keep our eyes out for those. So even though we've gained a couple hundred feet in elevation, you still can't see out. The canopy and the trees are so thick. It's pretty amazing. This tree is so huge. Okay. See if we can get down below and you can see. Look at that. So I checked on my phone. Looks like we're about 1,000-foot elevation. The peak is about 2,700. We'll see how high up we get. We're still deep in the canopy, so you can't even really see out that much. I don't know how high up we have to get out of these trees. We're starting to get back up into the sunshine, wrapping around the mountain, and getting up higher. All right, we're getting to an
overlook. Oh my gosh, this is incredible.
This is amazing. We're looking all the way out to the Pacific Ocean there. It is just like glassy calm. Oh, that's awesome.
This is so beautiful.
It's amazing. Kind of tricky to take it out, but oh my goodness, that's awesome.
This is really cool.
We're getting up higher where a little more sun's coming through. Got a nice overlook coming up. Look at that. It's like a rock slide or something. Open this up and now you can see. Beautiful.
Yeah.
We're about 2,000 feet and we keep getting breaks so you can see way out over the Pacific there.
Oh, that sun is hot.
I know. It's nice under the canopy. We gotta be getting close. We've been hiking for an hour and 50 minutes or so and gained over 2,000 feet. All of a sudden we are breaking out into the subalpine and we can see out across to all these other islands out there. It's incredible, just amazing. We've come out to this beautiful meadow up here just below the alpine. It's like I feel like I should see a deer walking out into this or something.
Let's see the view. We've been in the trees for quite a while, so. Oh wow, we are way up here.
Oh yeah.
Airport really well.
Yeah, we are way up. Yep, you can see the cruise ships. They look pretty small.
All right, this is the first view of the top, right up there. We're not gonna make it all the way to the top because we have a time crunch, but we've made it a long ways. Oh, we are in awe. There's a lake below us. We can see town. This is a good payoff point. We were hoping to reach one more good vantage point before we turned around. Beautiful lake down there. It is amazing. We've made it back to the overlook. The way down is definitely much easier cardiovascularly, but we've realized how tricky this trail really is. Like you have to pay attention to every step. So we've just been taking our time, being careful, and making our way back down. We have an hour and a half till we have to be at our rendezvous point for our lunch, so I think we're doing good. I looked at Mark's watch wrong. We have an hour till we need to be down, so we've got to keep moving. Well, we made it back down to town. We got checked in and got our stickers. We are going to a crab feast, but we're just having to take a minute and recognize where we just came from. We were up there. There's a clearing right before the peak. That's where we were just 2 hours ago. Okay, so what time is it?
It's 12:50.
12:50. So we started about 8:50. So 4 hours?
Yeah.
Took us about 2 hours and 20 minutes to get up, and an hour
40.
So an hour 10 to get down to the parking lot, and then it was quite a ways from the parking lot back down into town. We for sure got our workout in.
Awesome, though. The different hustle up there is peaceful and quiet, and here you got the hustle bustle, and it's cool.
I feel like we have done a good job of seeing Ketchikan. Now we're gonna celebrate with some crab, because Dungeness crab are a big part of Ketchikan. We're gonna go and experience it. A shuttle bus took us out to the George Inlet Lodge for our all-you-can-eat crab feast. Of course, there were more stairs involved. This is gorgeous.
It is. It's really nice.
Let's go find some crab to eat. Two.
You can join them at the table right here.
Okay. Right here?
Yes.
After a quick and entertaining demonstration on the proper way to get all the crab out of a crab leg, we stuffed ourselves full of the most delicious Dungeness crab for 45 minutes. This was a splurge activity for us at $85 a piece, but with the price of crab being so high these days, it was worth it, it was delicious, and it was a blast. Oh my goodness. We were limited by time. We were eating crab as fast as we could. It was amazing. That was so good. We had wonderful conversation. A lovely couple was sitting with us from West Virginia, and it just made it really enjoyable. Our bellies are full. We're gonna make the mad dash to go catch our flight home, because remember, we have to get back to our Airbnb, take a taxi to the ferry over, and get on the airplane. So not much filming is gonna happen because we are going to be hustling. Hopefully we make it in time for our flight. That's the challenge. You made out of crab?
I ate like 2.5 Dungeness crab. I mean, picking it out of my teeth for days. It's good though. I'm satisfied. I feel full, but I don't feel like I'm gonna throw up. That's good.
Yeah, I feel full, but I do see why they limit the time. You would just kind of, that's how they keep you from not eating too much, is they just say, time to go, get back up to your bus. The cool thing about this building that we're in is it was moved from another island, Prince of Wales Island. When the copper mine closed down, they put buildings on barges and moved them, so this building has been moved multiple times and is now here out on the bay for crab feasts. It was a really fun experience. They make it really fun and enjoyable, and so highly recommend this. Well, we ran as fast as our full bellies could take us. And we actually got here pretty quick and got everything loaded up, but now for the first time this whole trip, the taxi is taking a long time. We are not sure if we're gonna make it to the airport, and this is not how we wanted to be leaving. We thought we had it all planned out so it was gonna be nice and smooth. Hopefully we make it to the ferry in time. Whew, thank goodness we made it. We are right at the cusp. We are not usually people that run late, but when you have to, we're not used to relying on taxis and things. He said, our taxi driver said, you know, 16,000 extra people in town right now. The entire time we were in his taxi, which was like 7 minutes, I think he got 7 different calls. So busy time of the year for them. Very different ferry ride than our way over.
Oh my goodness, it sure is. Yeah. You're in shorts and a t-shirt and sunglasses versus rain jacket and streaming water down our faces.
I had clothes all nicely laid out to change before we get on the flight, but when we got back to the house, I was just like drenched in sweat, and we didn't have to. And I don't even know if I could have peeled these clothes off and put on other clothes, so I shoved them in my backpack, and hopefully I can do it, get dressed in the airport. I surprisingly had a few minutes to cool off, got changed out of my sweaty clothes, and we are boarding our flight home. We have to do the milk run back again, so we're gonna go from here to Sitka, Sitka to Juneau, Juneau to Anchorage, and we'll get in at 11:30 at night. But we packed so much into today. Today felt like kind of like 2 days. It was so,
yeah.
We really packed it in and just rushed from one thing to the other, so we're kind of excited to just relax and make the trip home to our babies. So Mark just got a text that after we're sitting here, our flight has been canceled. Because of fog in Sitka. All right, they just let us know we're gonna take off. We're just skipping the city of Sitka. So one less stop. We're gonna fly straight to Juneau and then Anchorage. This happens a lot in Alaska. Weather is crazy and they can't land at many of these places unless the conditions are just right.
I know.
I'm just glad we don't have to spend another night. Well, they made us deplane in Juneau, so we're sitting, waiting for a hamburger.
The view is gorgeous here, looking out across to Admiralty Island. Hopefully they work it out, because they canceled our flight.
The only thing it says is canceled, so that's the only thing that's concerning. It should just be that we're able to take off when we were supposed to, but who knows? They don't have any answers for us.
I wish I had a little more information, because I have a cousin that lives here. We could go visit and hang out. I haven't seen him in ages.
Yep, but no info from anybody. Just get off the plane and take all your stuff. Our plane is about to load. There's an entire football team going to Anchorage.
Entire football team behind us loading up. They came down here to Juneau. They flew on a jet to come down here and play a football game. And that's actually not that uncommon because there's so few high schools on the road system in Alaska. So a lot of teams have to fly in a jet to other communities. When I did cross-country running in high school, we flew to the state championship down in Kenai on a jet. So we are ready to get home now.
Might be a rowdy flight with a bunch of boys, high school boys, but we're ready to be home. Back in Anchorage, it's about 11 o'clock. This airport is bustling. We just want to get home to our beds. Well, we got back at midnight last night. Everett's just waking up. Let's go say good morning. Oh, I missed you. How are you, buddy?
Good.
You excited to go to school this week? I'm excited for you. Go see Daddy. He's on the couch. Hey, back home with Daddy. And hello, Miss Luna. Did you miss Mama? Thank you so much for spending a week in Ketchikan, Alaska with us. We are so grateful for each and every one of you that's here with us. I've got to rub this sleep out of my eyes and head off to church. We love you, we're grateful for you, and we'll see you again real soon for more of This Alaska Life. Hello, Miss Luna. I missed you. Anything to say for our friends?